January 31st, 2022. Halfcast 230, episode 230. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Waffle House shooter believed God commanded him. Not at a Waffle House, maybe at an Arby's. Somebody is saying, let's at least hear him out. Attorneys, more than one, for a man who killed 4 people in a shooting at a Nashville Waffle House, said Monday that Travis Reinking believed the restaurant patrons and employees were government agents whom he had been commanded by God to kill. That definitely sounds like an episode right out of the X-Files. Ranking 32 was naked save for a green jacket when he opened fire inside the restaurant on April 22nd, 2018. He fled, triggering a 2-day manhunt after restaurant patron James Shaw Jr. wrestled his assault style rifle away from him. Shaw testified Monday that he noticed Ranking sitting in a truck before he entered the restaurant, and his friend joked that Ranking looked crazy and would shoot up the place. If you only knew. His energy wasn't right. I could just feel it. Shaw testified. Ranking shot 2 people outside before entering the restaurant and continuing the shoot. When he stopped to reload, Shaw rushed him, grabbing the barrel of his gun. It burned his hand, but he held on until he had possession of the weapon and threw it over the counter. Good thinking, quick thinking. Asked whether he could identify the shooter in court, Shaw looked at Ranking and said, "He's giving me the same look he did that night. He looked like he didn't care." You stopped that man from doing the Lord's work. You have an enemy for life now. In opening statements, defense attorney Luke Evans said Ranking was suffering from severe schizophrenia that had grown worse over the years. Mr. Ranking was driven by delusions, paranoid thinking, and auditory illusions. He said that included the belief that he was Taylor Swift's boyfriend and the star was stalking him, had broken into his house, and had sexually assaulted him. All I'm saying is let's just hear him out. He had moved several times to try to leave the persecution behind, Evans said. By the time he moved to Nashville a couple of months before the shooting, he was completely untethered from reality. He believed he was communicating directly with God. Evans said of Ranking, he believed the regular people walking around were out to hurt him and had been hurting him. Mr. Ranking believed he was commanded by God to go to the Waffle House in defense of himself and other people. The people at Waffle House were, in his mind, government agents. I always pictured the suits as being more of Denny's guys, but carry on. Ranking is charged with first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of Taurine C. Sanderlin, Joe R. Perez, Aquila De Silva, and Diebony Groves. He also faces several counts of attempted first-degree murder. On Monday, Ranking pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. That means he must prove not only that he was suffering from a severe mental illness, but also that the mental illness made him unable to appreciate the wrongness of his actions. I don't know. How can someone who's lost complete touch with reality prove that they didn't appreciate the wrongness of their actions? How do they even know right from wrong when they can't even discern from what's real and what's not at this point? In opening statements, Assistant District Attorney General Jan Norman tried to demonstrate that Ranking made conscious choices. Norman pointed out that Ranking purchased extra magazines in the days before the shooting and chose to take his most powerful weapon. He also went to the Waffle House about 3:20 a.m. on a Sunday. Who's at Waffle House at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday when it was especially busy? Norman said that when Ranking was captured in a wooded area, he was able to understand and comply with police commands. The proof in this case is that Travis Reinking made a choice. Norman said he made several choices that led to the shooting. Two things can definitely be true at the same time. He could have desperately needed that help mentally, he could have been touched in the head severely, but it's also true that he could have still retained the memory of how to use weapons proficiency at a level, just like when animals are sick, when animals have rabies, they still know how to eat, they still know they have to eat, they still know how to hunt, they still keep some base instincts. Man arrested for attempting to rob bank in downtown Charleston. Anything attempted means you failed, but you tried though. A 57-year-old man was arrested after attempting to rob a downtown Charleston bank. Officers with the Charleston Police Department were dispatched to the First National Bank on Meeting Street before noon Thursday in response to a panic alarm. Once at the scene, officers saw a man in a wheelchair being escorted out of the bank by an employee. Most bank robberies fail because the robbers don't have a getaway plan. His getaway plan was economical and handicap accessible. The responding officers said they were able to immediately identify the man based on previous encounters as James Wonder. According to an incident report, the bank employee told officers that Wonder needed to be escorted from the building because he was attempting to rob the bank. Wonder allegedly used a note during the incident, which was placed in evidence at Charleston PD's headquarters on Lockwood Drive. He was arrested and taken to the Al Cannon Detention Center on a charge of entering a bank with intent to steal. They didn't even respect him enough to give him the John Dillinger bank robbery charge. They give him the kids' table criminal mischief intent to steal charge. Next up, she wanted the employee to clean it. Viral TikTok shows woman's dog peed inside a Trader Joe's, sparking debate. First off, I don't know who needs to hear this, but your pet doesn't belong in the store. It doesn't matter if you left the kids out of the will and it's going to get your estate and it's part of the family and you love it. It's a health code violation unless you have something that says it's a CNI dog or it's some type of dog to help you with a medical issue that you have. Your dog does not belong in a store around the food. It's a health code violation and it's a health code liability. Viral TikTok footage shows that a woman's dog peed inside a Trader Joe's, prompting a debate among viewers about why people bring their dogs everywhere. This is why you don't bring your dog in the store. And when people argue with store clerks about wanting to bring their pet inside the grocery store, this gives me the vibe that these are the same people that are at home cutting up vegetables and cooking food with the dog's ass all pressed up against the counter next to the vegetables and stuff. So I don't eat over nobody house, man. User Special Head, also known as Mole Man, posted the video, which received about 939,000 views on TikTok as of Sunday. In the video, a Trader Joe's employee can be seen and heard yelling, "Is this anybody's dog?" while gesturing to the dog standing near a full grocery cart. A puddle of the dog's pee can be seen under the cart. A woman stepped out from around the corner to claim the dog, and the employee told her, "Your dog just peed on the floor, ma'am." The woman said, "I know, I know." So, first off, somebody should already be in trouble for letting you in the store around the food with this dog in the first place, and you don't have any type of medical problem. Second, now you want to behave all nonchalant. Like this is part of what dogs do when you bring them into the store. Like this is part of what's supposed to happen. Clean that shit up. Then the employee added, "And just so you know, dogs are not allowed in here." Shout out to the employee for calling this out. This is the reason why it's service dogs only. Service dogs are trained to hold their bladder. One viewer commented, some viewers said the need to take your pet everywhere is getting out of control. Very bizarre to me that people think they can bring dogs anywhere now. 10 years ago, would just assume no pets allowed. One TikToker commented. Another viewer said, I don't know. I just feel like there's certain things you do without a pet, and grocery shopping is one of them. Someone else wrote, as far as I know, non service dogs aren't allowed where food is sold, right? And if your dog's peeing on the floor, it's not a service dog. Next up, Midland woman steals iPhone, then applies for job. That's what I'm talking about. I like that woman. She's thinking ahead. How are you going to get a call back if you don't have a phone for them to call you back to? Right? A Midland woman is behind bars accused of stealing an iPhone while she was filling out job applications. Oh, mugshot Mondays. According to an arrest affidavit on January 27th, a patrol officer with the Midland Police Department pulled over a black Cadillac for failing to yield the right of way and nearly causing a crash in the 1700 block of College Avenue. When the officer approached the vehicle, he recognized the driver, identified as Glenda Wilson, as a wanted offender with outstanding warrants. She could be pulling wheelchair bank robberies. At least she's trying to get a job to clear her warrants up. Give her a break. While the officer was confirming the status of Wilson's outstanding warrants, another car arrived on the scene. The woman in that car told the officer that Wilson was in possession of a stolen iPhone belonging to her sister. The victim told police she had used the Find My iPhone app to track its location. You got people out here using iPhone and iPhone accessories to actually stalk folks. So there's no way you're going to steal anything. You're not going to steal anything iPhone or iPhone related and get away. According to video footage from a restaurant in the 3300 block of North Midland Drive, Wilson, who had come in to apply for a job, grabbed the phone as it sat beside the cash register and placed it in her purse. She then left the restaurant and hid the phone in her car, then returned to the business to fill out the application. Hey! Because I still need that job though. Officer then searched Wilson's vehicle and located a phone which the victim identified as the one that was stolen, the affidavit revealed. Wilson was charged with theft and was also taken into custody on outstanding warrants involving mail theft. She remained in custody as of Friday afternoon on bonds totaling $1,500. When being a kleptomaniac, when having sticky fingers goes wrong, nothing iPhone is going to be missing for long unless somebody wants it to be missing. Fun show, fun show, fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.